Some of you seated here, you are too intelligent. But promotion without connection is like an employment without an office. That is the problem of so many people. Now listen to me. Every prophet with a covenant that God gave to him. There was a covenant that God used to wrap him. And that's why Moses was confident. He walked to the palace of Pharaoh and he said, God had spoken to me. I saw God. I saw the bush. I saw the fire burning and the bush was not consumed. I was attracted by that episode, magnetized to a level, and I went there, I gazed at it, and I was held spellbound, and I was speechless, and I heard a voice that called my name, that says, Moses, Moses, off thy sandals, for where you are standing is a holy ground. And I send you now to the land of Egypt. My children, their cry had come to me. For 30 years, I told Abraham, there will be a time that your descendants shall become a slave. And I myself, I will send a deliverer. So Moses, the covenant God made with him, was the covenant of deliverance. No wonder he was the first pastor to lead 5 million people at a go, and they crossed the Red Sea. He was the first pastor to stand in the midst of people and said, God, feed my people, for they are hungry. Deliverance is what he's talking. Now, to every prophet, he speaks concerning his covenant. When a prophet eats his head and start to use his covenant to speak, there will be trouble. If he speak positively, there will be good thing. If he speak negatively, there will be trouble. Can't you see when Ahab and Jezebel, they took the vineyard of Naboth, and Elijah had no background. You may say somebody may not, you may think somebody don't have background. It's you that you justify that somebody don't have background. But if you have God, God is the greatest background, bigger than any background. And Elijah the Tishbat, he said, why did you take the vineyard of Naboth, and you Jezebel, the witch in the land, you killed Naboth? Now listen to me. Elijah said, because I have been wrapped with a covenant to lock heaven and to open heaven. That was the covenant of Elijah. He can open heavens, at the same time he can lock heaven. Elijah locked heaven for 3 years and 6 months, and he kept the key in his pocket, and he strolled away. He was strolling for 3 years, and Ahab, the king of Israel, was thirsty, was looking for water, and all crops died. That same Elijah came back and he said, listen to me, I want to show you that I'm a prophet. No prophet is called without a covenant. No president ruling a nation without a scepter being given to him. Now listen to me. You've watched all the inauguration of so many presidents worldwide. When the president, after some time, after taking the oath is just a formality, which was official thing. That is something that makes the president the president. After taking the oath, there must be something that is glittering that they must give to him. Once that thing is given to him, it connotes, including the judges that administer the oath to him, as long as he is holding that thing, you are under his authority. He has the executive power to deal with anybody. The same thing as prophet. You may not see our own scepter. Our own is hidden one. Our own make people to live long, make people to enjoy life. make people to be great, make nation to be liberated, make doors to be opened, make laughter to come into the mouth of people. Now, prophets are people that God hold them in high esteem. You cannot judge them. Have you ever heard that God, or have you ever heard or you have discovered a place where prophet has been judged? He said, you don't judge them. Haven't you read in the book of Psalm 105? He said, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. So Moses, in a nutshell, God gave him and entered into covenant of deliverance with him. That was why he was able to deliver the children of Israel. And Pharaoh, who vowed and clamored that he would not let them go. Now listen to me. Now Pharaoh, who said, I will not let them go, they will die here, and I'll use them as a slave. Because the covenant of deliverance, God established it with Moses. God told Moses, he said, you don't worry. Tomorrow morning, you will not tell Pharaoh to let you go again. Pharaoh himself will urge you in haste that you should run out of Egypt. God killed all the firstborn of the Egyptians. They died. All the firstborn of all the animals in the land of Egypt, including the firstborn of Pharaoh, died. And Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron. He said, go and serve your God now. Deliverance was granted. Israelites jubilated. They sang. Their chains of bondage broke. I can see many people tonight. The chains they have used to tie you, a chain break forever. Listen to me. If all the members of this church could, if they can be wise, they will never joke with prophetic encounter. Listen to me again. This is the voice coming from the throne of grace. A time is coming. This prophetic encounter shall become a national issue. President will come. Politicians will come. There was a time we had circled at the beginning of this church. We were under canopy. I was speaking prophetically. Some people did like this to me. I said, a time is coming in this nation. I will be sitting and the president will be sitting next to me. And I'll use my hand to call to him. And the word came to pass. I cannot forget one of my detractors who fought me when I first of all came to this nation. When the prophecy came to pass, she was forced to look for my number and she called me. He said, you've said it many years when you came to this country. He said, a time is coming, president will sit with you. He said, truly, you are a prophet. It has come to pass. Haven't you read? The Bible says in Habakkuk chapter 2 from verse 1, and I stand upon the watch and I will see what the Lord will say to me. And I will look at it, what will write to me, what will write unto me in plain on the tablets. And he said to me, the vision is for an appointed time. Even though the vision did not speak now, wait for it. Even though it looks tardy, it will not tardy. It shall surely come to pass. That is what prophetic ministry is all about. You can make mockery of me, it's none of my business. You can talk about me, it's none of my business. What I know is the covenant that he has used to wrap me. He wrapped Moses with covenant of deliverance. Hey, Miriam mocked Moses. She suffered for it. Aaron mocked Moses. He suffered for it. Now Miriam, she was also a prophetess. Aaron was also a prophet. But we have prophets and we have prophets. Prophet past prophets. Prophetess past prophetess. There are some people, the covenant God made with them is what God looked into. The Lord said, all prophets, I speak to them in dreams. But my servant Moses is different. The one that I speak to face. Why? How on earth would dare you Miriam to mock my own prophet called Moses, because Moses married to an Ethiopian woman. And sincerely, if you go to Ethiopia, you'll be wondering that the reason why Moses married an Ethiopian woman. Ethiopians are beautiful women. That's why Moses married one of them. He could not hold it. Now Miriam now make jest of him. Now listen to me. And the Lord said, I'm going to kill her. Now Moses teared up the covenant again. He said, you know, you had entered into a covenant of deliverance with me. You can't kill my sister. If you kill her, the Egyptian will mock us. And God said, well, even though I may not kill her, but she will not live in the yard, in the court for 7 days. I'll release leprosy on her. I just want to show her a lesson that when I raise a prophet, you don't dare. You don't have infantry to speak armies of the prophet. If you speak armies of any prophet, you have spoken against the Almighty. So God covered Miriam with leprosy. She left the court. She could not stay in the camp. They quickly rushed her and took her outside the camp. And the Lord said, she will be there for 7 days. Now, if not because Moses had a covenant of deliverance, Miriam would remain like a leper. She would die as a leper. But God taught her a lesson. You know, at times, I always tell some people, if you cheat me, I don't talk. If you talk against me, I don't say anything. But the covenant that is upon me will deal with you. And the covenant I dealt with some people in this nation. Some people stirred up and they said they wanted to fight me. The covenant dealt with them 10 times. Some, the covenant is still dealing with them. The covenant, if they don't succumb or they don't respect, the covenant will deal with them to death. Because covenant is covenant. Look at Abraham, is dead and gone. The covenant is still binding. Moses is dead and gone. The covenant is still walking. The covenant of deliverance. When we are talking about deliverance, you must remember Moses. God raised him for a covenant. Every prophet, God wrapped them with a covenant. I cannot forget Ezekiel. Ezekiel became a prophet because God said, I just wanted my people to experience showers of blessing. Because I saw my people, they have experienced droughts, poverty. They were paupers. They could not eat the way they're supposed to eat. They were being troubled by the enemies. The time has come. Ezekiel, now rise up. You are the prophets that will bring peace unto them. In Ezekiel 34, verse 25, verse 26, my Bible says, and God spoke emphatically, and he said, I'll make with them a covenant of peace, and I'll read out evil beasts out of their land, and they shall stay in the woods safely. And I'll make the place of my hill a blessing, and there shall be showers. Ezekiel 34 from verse 25. And I'll make them to become showers of blessing. Now Ezekiel, the Lord raised him and wrapped him with a covenant for showers of blessing. He also raised him and wrapped him with a covenant of peace. I wonder at times when I tell the children of Pure Fire, that time I told you, I said, don't worry yourself. The Lord has done it. Some of you love to worry yourself a lot. You disturb yourself. You trouble yourself. God spoke to Ezekiel. I've seen drought in the land. I want to take away the drought. I want to bless my children. Not ordinary blessing. I want showers. What is called showers? Now, at times, if you have an umbrella When it's raining, the umbrella can be effective if the downpour is just a mere one. But if it's an heavy downpour, what the rain will first of all do is to break all the wings of the umbrella, and you will not be able to enjoy any coverage anymore. Have you experienced that? The rain that is coming with a mighty wind, and it's like an heavy downpour, and it's coming due. Now all the wings of the umbrella will be broken. Then the umbrella will be useless. You will no longer enjoy the umbrella again. And instead of you covering yourself so that you protect yourself, you'll be soaked from your head to the sole of your feet. The same thing God is about to do tonight. It's a covenant. Now I can see droughts on the land. I can see some people, their account is red. I can see some people, they are afraid. They can sleep better because the exchange rate is escalating. I can see some people, they are troubled. Hey, listen to me. I am a prophet sent by God, not to intimidate you, but to remind you again. But anytime things are not working well, God send a prophet to bring relief, joy. And God said, I'll make with them a covenant of peace, and I'll read out evil beasts out of their land. They shall sleep in the woods safely, and I'll make the place of their hill a blessing. And there shall be cause showers to come down, and there shall be showers of blessing. As from this month of August, in the land of Ghana, people start to find things much more easier than before. In the mighty name of Jesus, I want you to sit down, my sons and daughters. Tonight is a night that we really need to know. I told you last month, I said in the month of August, you see prophet 1 on 1. Prophet 1 and 1. I speak to you. I tell you what the Lord is saying. I was in Tanzania on the first day. I don't know this man from Hedam. And I walked to him. I said, you I'm talking to, that your hands, that when you touch something, they took it away from you. Anything you touch, you never prosper. I walked to him. He was looking at me. The man was taken aback. And the pastor has never discussed this case with me. And I felt like, then I looked at him and I said, if not because we are a gentleman, I want to hit my head on your head and remove what they put in you. I gave him a slap in his tummy. He fell. I said, you are free now. That shackles they place on your hand. Now listen to me. For the fact that we have some local prophets who have bastardized prophetic ministry does not mean that we are all the same. Now anytime you see counterfeit, then you must know that original is existing somewhere. Now we have so many so-called prophets that they lie to people because they are hungry, because they are prophets for their own stomach. I'm not like that. I'm a refined one. I am a corporate prophet. I'm an intelligent one, loaded with wisdom, with knowledge, with good orientation, and with good ethics. I don't intimidate with people with prophecy. I don't use prophecy to make people to be scared. There was a time in this country, a man, I and my wife, we were going, and I told my wife, I said, I want to pull the legs of this man. So we branched in that supermarket. When we branched, and I walked to him, I said, this and this and this that you are doing, that you had problem. The man just shocked. The Lord said I should tell you, he has solved it. He became my friend instanter. After some few days, he came here. He came and issued check to me, because God will confirm the word of his prophet and perform the counsel of his messenger. That is the type of prophet that I am. I speak authoritatively. If I don't hear, I don't speak. If I hear, it's none of my business your position. You can't be greater than my God. My God made you, and that God made me. And he's the one who put engine inside me. And that engine is bigger than my age. You know, the engine inside me is like 200 years engine. And that's why you see I never get tired. I never get weary. The wisdom is, you can't quantify it. Hey, listen to me. A time has come that we help nations. There was a time I was in a meeting and I was telling some business people and some politicians. I said, listen to me. If you want a nation to thrive, a nation to prosper, there must be a partnership between the public sector and the private sector. I said, one of the problems we have in West Africa, our politicians and our leaders, they have not been able to go around and discover mystery, how to synchronize themselves and lead the public sector with the private sector. Now listen to me. The public sector cannot bring money to the nation. It is the private sector that can generate money so that our GDP can go higher. Now look at the civil servant. Did they produce? They never produce. They only look on fire. But private man is producing, is working very hard. Why can't our government synchronize with us? A time is coming, we shall be speaking to them at the Parliament House. A time is coming, we shall be speaking to them at the United Nations. I will tell them, you must send relief to some places. I was in Uganda and I gathered some young men. I said, very soon I'll be having a conference with you. Some of you, I will train you how to become an entrepreneur so that you have entrepreneurship skill. Then we can talk to the people of the outside world to bring finances and aid you. Some of you seated here, you are too intelligent. But promotion without connection is like an employment without an office. That is the problem of so many people. Now listen to me. Every prophet with the covenant that God gave to him. On the 13th of March, for the second time in my life, I saw Jesus. He spoke to me. I fell into trance. 31 years ago, for the first time in my life, I fell into trance. When I was a Muslim, I saw Jesus. That evening, I became a Christian. On the 13th of March, I saw Jesus for the second time. He said, listen to me, my son. You have walked with me for 31 years. You have not defaulted. You did not practice adultery. Hey, listen to me. I met my wife 35 years ago. I've never put my chest on any other woman. No matter how you twist yourself, my wife is still my wife. I am not a promiscuous person. Now listen to me. I walked with my God and I kept the covenant. And Jesus appeared to me and he spoke to me. He said, listen to me. I have commissioned you to go around the world. You know, at times when I come home, I feel for you. Because at times when I'm preaching to you, I see myself in the midst of white people and I'm preaching to them. Not 1,000, not 10,000, not 50,000. They are uncountable. But you are my roots. I can't leave you. You are my children. That is why at times when I'm ministering, you see tears coming out of my eyes. I think 2 months ago, I was ministering during the Thanksgiving and I was shedding tears. You did not know the reason why I'm shedding tears. Because I love you so much, but I can see myself. I'm not for one place. I'm for the universe. I'm a global person. It's not one place. but you must get what you need. There was a time we had circle. I kept on telling people, Pastor Aminu, you see today, not by that. You may not be seeing him all the time because the workload is going to be too much. We'll be talking to people. We'll be giving lectures, nations, to so many people to help them.